So lads, over the last couple of days and weeks, overall cheesing has become an art. It has become an art form. And lads, I'm telling you guys this right now, if you have any of these players in your collection, they're about to be price fixed. Because I don't know why, people just do it. Yeah, so some people might be making a lot of MT. But anyway, overall cheesing, lads, has become an art form. No longer can you go out with a bronze lineup and chuck in a Galaxy Opal and a pink diamond, and then 3 bronzes. That will be exposed. No longer can you just throw in 1 pink diamond and a bunch of bronzes, because that will be exposed as well. Heck, no longer can you throw in 5 Galaxy Opals anymore, unless they're the best 5 Galaxy Opals in the game, because likelihood that happens is if you throw in 5 Galaxy Opals with a bronze bench, at least 3 of your 12 games you're coming up against Galaxy Opal teams that might even be better than yours. So lads, we've been experimenting, we've been going on stream, and we have been trying to find out the best overall cheese squads in the game. And I think I may have come up with the perfect one. And could this be seen as selling my soul? Yes. But you know what? In the same light as the campers in Call of Duty justify it by saying they're patrolling an area, I am just playing with a specific overall team. I am learning to play with lower overall cards. That's the way I'm going to call it. It's no longer overall cheesing. It's now learning to play with less. Learning to play with less. Yeah, I think that sounds good. That sounds good. But lads, as you guys can see, we've got Glen Rice. We have gone on 2 12-0 runs with these type of squads, and we've got Glen Rice twice. I'm not going to lie. The first time I did it, when these cards are being price fixed, completely price fixed to just insane amounts. Like if you guys look current Series 2, Cleveland Cavaliers, hopefully the price has gone down, but like Kevin Porter Jr. thankfully is around 9k MT. There were people that were crazy enough to spend 15, 16k, up to 30k on some of these cards. Kevin Porter Jr., for the sake of being a great silver, is worth it. And the weird thing is that I'm saying this right now, this whole playing with lower overall teams, the fact that the matchmaking actually works in that way, it actually gives value to some lower overall cards that you previously wouldn't have thought of it. So for example, if you pull a Kevin Porter Jr., or for example, if you get a Darius Garland, who's got 20 bronze badges and go quick draw. So if you get one of those type of players, suddenly you're like, okay, I actually got a silver that's worth something, rather than just rarity. So these cards, like, if anything, overall cheating has meant that these cards are now usable in game, that there's a reason to use some of these cards. But like even with the Javon Carter, I think Javon Carter is great, but like if you pay up to 30k for him, like he's not worth 15k. But people are still gonna jump on these cards, so be ready. But lads, this team is better than the squad I used. So I had Eddie Curry. The squad I originally used was Ruby DiVincenzo, a point guard. We had what's his name? Javon Carter to 2. Porter to 3. At the 4, we were running with Jonathan Isaac Emerald. At the 5, we had Eddie Curry. So lads, you need one god tier card in every team. Like you need one god tier card, but they don't have to be Galaxy Opal cards. Because you know what? I used Dino Raja. I used Dino as my big. Dino was the star of this team because against most overall cheese teams, you come up against a Mirasan, you come up against a Sean Bradley. Because as you guys can see from my 12-0 run, I played against one team that wasn't an overall. I'm not even going to say overall cheesing because I want to change the narrative on it. I came up against 11 people trying to manipulate their overalls as well. So you're going to come up against guys that are going to be equally as cheesy as you. So you better be as well equipped as possible. You better know all your players' releases. You better be equipped, and you better have one guy that can score on almost any given possession, which is why I use Dino Raja. You're not going to be coming up against a lot of players with clamps. So, for example, if you are coming up against a decent enough center, just run around them, run deep hash, because even if the player on ball has clamps, if the guys pinching in don't have clamps, you're going to be fine. So that's the most important thing, is the guy to run everything through. You can use Dino. If you have Shaq, you can use Shaq, but you might have to lower some overalls with some players. You can use Eddie Curry, but I think with Eddie Curry, you need to lower some overalls with some players as well. Or you can use like Hakeem, Wilt. Actually, not really Hakeem. You can use Wilt for this role as well. It works really well. But then we are going to go with the next position that was a really weird one. So the position that the point guard I went with here, originally I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just use DiVincenzo again. So as you guys can see, DiVincenzo brings his team up to a 79 overall. But there's actually a higher rated player in Luke Ridnour who actually brings the overall of the team lower. You'll see it later. I'll go over it then. But Luke Ridnour, for this type of lineup, is better than DiVincenzo because he shoots better. He shoots better against his zone with his Hall of Fame quick draw and Hall of Fame range extender. So if teams sit zone on you, I've got 4 or 3 range extender players in this team. So you can shoot teams out of zones. Then we are going to go with the 2 range extender shooters that keep the overall low. And it's gold JJ Redick, as well as silver, where is he? Kyle Korver. So as you guys can see, even without Kyle Korver, this team is an 80 overall. And with Korver, he's still an 80 overall. So Korver, gold quick draw, silver range, as well as gold catch and shoots liberty opal. I know he is steady, but you know what? There's certain things you have to give up. So like, as you guys can see, he's shooting 66% from 3 for me, averaging 8 points a game in the games that weren't rage quits. 85 3 ball. Yeah, he's slow as hell, but play a 2-3 zone and put him at the back, he's fine. Then JJ Redick, like look, 64 defensive overall. And for Korver, 59 defensive overall. So these guys push the defensive overall of the team way, way down. Trust me. And the thing with JJ Redick, like I could obviously have him vote up, but I don't want to. I don't want him to be higher overall. I'm perfectly happy with him sitting there as a gold card because, again, it means the overall is lower. But Redick's got gold quick draw, gold range. Yeah, he's got silver steady, which isn't ideal, but you know what? That's fine for what we're trying to run with. Also got to go 3 ball. He's slow as well. But you know what? Again, Ridnour is going to be your guy to play defense on the perimeter. And then we've got probably the most important player for the team. The guy that may be one of the best emeralds, if not the best emeralds in the game to run with this. It's Thaddeus Young. And I just realized my team is 81 overall because I don't have a bunch of 68 overall bronzes in. There we go, 80 overall. But funny thing is that, look at this. Dante DiVincenzo. Okay. That's a weird one. Because the reason why I didn't run DiVincenzo was because he made my overall 81 yesterday. But you know what? It doesn't make a difference. It does not make a difference in the slightest. So these are the guys we're running with. So you got 2 line set shooters here and here. You've got Thad Young, who's got base 98. Thad Young, in terms of just pure catch and shoot, averaging, as you guys can see, 16 points per game. Like, yeah, he wasn't shooting the greatest percentage because I'm shooting a lot from deep with him. But, man, Thad Young, I'm telling you, if 2K gave Thad Young a diamond card, it will be godly. If they give him a diamond that can play small forward, that card will be godly. Like, you can literally run with 3. You can run with Dwayne Wade. This dude here is a left-handed Dwayne Wade. This dude here is a 6'7" Dwayne Wade. And then lefty Dwayne Wade at small forward. Like, that would be nuts. And then, yeah. So this is the team we used, and now we're going to go over the run where we went 12-0. Hey, so lads, my stream kind of cut out in the first game, so I can only start from here. But the team we're playing against has Opal James Worthy, he has Thon Maker, and he's got Mirasan, as well as Malik Beasley and Lonzo Ball. So you see Worthy, you're thinking, okay, it's going to be tough, and Thon Maker. His team actually was a higher overall than mine. I think his team was an 82 overall, and he was running with a Galaxy Opal, which I obviously wasn't. But from the start, I kind of knew I had the better team because he couldn't guard both Ridnour and Dino. So at the start of the game, I was killing him with Dino. As you guys can see, 70, 9, and 5. And then as time went on, we started just switching he switched the matchups, and then we just started running at him with Ridnour. And that's the thing. If you've got a couple of players in your team that I've got Hall of Fame quick first step, then it's very, very easy to go by them. Like, this guy wasn't bad though. In fairness to him, he was not bad at all. And that shot there with JJ Redick kind of cemented the game. So the 2-0 game was against, I think this was our only game really against a guy that I felt didn't really know what they were doing. And from early on in the game, I was winning this game. There was never really anything that was in doubt. Like, for example, if you swapped me versus this guy with the same teams, I probably would still win with his team against my team. But it was evident that this guy was just kind of starting out the game. He had a few nice players in his team. I'll give him that. He had a few nice players, but that was kind of it. So this game right here, we're coming up against a bit of a different approach to it. So he was using DiVincenzo, and then he was trying to put out a big in Boban. I think if you're going to put in a Boban type big, you might as well just use a silver. Rather, like, if you want to put in a tackle or someone that can shoot the 3-ball really well, go for it. But if you want to run like a Boban type player, I would probably advise you just to use either Boban Silver or use one of the emeralds like Sean Bradley or someone like a Mirasan, because I think it's a little bit of a waste. But the end of the first quarter, we had this game very, very comfortable lead. Like, we're up by 13 points, and it doesn't look like at any stage, well, I didn't feel at any stage like this guy was going to score much against me. I felt like this was kind of game over, and I think he felt the same because he quit. Then we came up against Lonzo Ball, Shaq, and Boban. So people, I think, in my chat were like, okay, this is game over. And I'm not worried in the slightest, because I'm like, look, in this specific scenario, Dino equal Shaq. In this specific scenario, like, Shaq's better than Dino, and Lonzo Ball is better than Luke Ridnour. But in this scenario, in terms of just the way the game becomes played, when you're using with lower overall players, they're even. They're even. And you look at my supporting cast, I could just abuse Boban with Dino, which is something that I knew I was going to be able to do from the very start. Even if he switched the matchups, I was going to abuse him with Thad Young. And then we also had Thad Young and then 2 range extender players in the wing. So, as you can see, I have an 18-point lead right here. And in the end, it got even higher. Like, I even subbed off Dino because he picked up 3 fouls. He got into a bit of foul trouble, subbed off Dino, and then I started just torching him with Luke Ridnour. Like, he ended up quitting, down 26 points in the first half. Then we're against the toughest team we played against. So this is an 81 overall. He's got Hito fully evoed up. He's got, what's his name? JJ Redick fully evoed up. He has got Drew Holiday. But one good thing was that he only has, in terms of his like range extender shooters, Drew Holiday doesn't have range, and neither does Hito. And also one of his players in Ryan Anderson, he has range, but he doesn't have quick draw. But one of the things, I did really run a lot through Dino Radja. As you guys see here, he's breaking Mo Bamba's ankles. And Dino really kind of carried me. So this game was a weird one. Like, it got close, then we pull away, and then we get close again. And then later on in the game, as you can see here, like, we have an 18-point lead. So at this stage, I just know the game's over. Like, there's no real point in me going for more, like, sweating too much right now, because I knew it was over. And what's his name? Like, Luke Ridnour, man, he was, I don't think he was necessarily the star, because most of the scoring was being done by probably Dino and then Thad Young, because Thad Young was off in the corners. But especially games like this, and when people went zone against me, it was Luke Ridnour's world. Like, he came up huge, as well as defensively. Even though he only has goal clamps, just like at the start of the year when goal clamps was a big deal, when you're playing in these type of lineups, a lot of the time you're not playing against the elites of the game, so goal clamps normally is just completely fine. I mean, like, elite cards in the game. Then, this is a tough lineup as well. Lonzo, T-Mac, trust me, Markieff Morris and KCP are no slouches. The two of those guys can hit shots. I've been practicing a lot of play now over the last few days, and I'm telling you, those two guys start when I use the Lakers. Morris is money, and KCP has got quick draw and a really high 3-point shot. These dudes are straight cash. So early on in the game, this was close, and it was kind of Thad Young that did a lot of work. There were games where Thad Young was doing a lot of damage, and he started coming back into it, and then we'd start to pull away a little bit. But this dude's team was quality. Kind of one negative with him was that he never took Mirasan off Dino Radja, and Dino was just destroying Mirasan, whether it be rebounds, whether it be him burning him to the basket. My entire offense is being ran through Dino. And then here late on in the fourth quarter, we go and hit a 3 to make it a 17-point game with Thad Young. And you know what? He just had enough of it. He had enough of that that third quarter and start of fourth. He had a bit of a lead. So this guy right here, I assume he was just a starter for the game, but he had a fairly okay team. Like, if you give me his team, I could probably go 12-0 frequently enough. Or you give me his overall type of players. As in, you give me a bench with a couple of rubies, a couple of sapphires, a couple of emeralds, and a starting lineup with Chauncey Billups and a bunch of like rubies and sapphires and emeralds, and I win most games. Especially like the way this is, but at the same time, it's not necessarily the team you use, it's the player behind the team. And this guy, like, again, not terrible. Like, obviously I have a bit of a lead, but it's because, again, I know how to use all my players. I know every one of my players' jump shots like the back of my hand, but he ended up quitting fairly quickly there. And then we are on to this morning. So I decided to start off again. I think we were 7-0 when we left last night, but we decided to keep going. And the team we're up against here is like Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan, Thon Maker, and Mirasan, I think. But from the start, this was kind of game over. Like, as great as Jordan is in game, Jordan is like mainly going to be used as a defensive player. So for a squad like this, for a lineup like this, I wouldn't necessarily use someone like a Jordan. if you want to go about this. You gotta just think about dominance and who can dominate a game at those lower tiers, or even at the higher tiers. Like there's no point wasting an opal on a 3&D guy, and which Jordan is fantastic at. But it's like wasting an opal on, for example, like on Lonzo, or wasting an opal on Kurolenko. Those guys aren't going to win games by themselves. So this team right here, we're playing against Ben Simmons and Eddie Curry. And this is a game that I was not worried in the slightest about. Not going to lie. Like, a lot of people are saying that this was where it was game over, but like, he has 2 players and I have 5. He has 2 players that can score, I have 5 that can score. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to win this. I was not worried in the slightest. He had Dean Wade. He was kind of passing with his bronzes. So at this stage, I was like, okay, I'm going to win this game. But he quit. So I was happy with that. This game right here was the worst game of 2K ever. So he had Jarrett Culver. He had 2 Amethysts. He had Mirasan. And he had... Can't even remember who he had at power forward. Oh, he had Thon. He had Thon Maker power forward. So, man, Thad Young started off unbelievably well. This quarter, again, it was Thad Young's world and we were all living in it. The 2K gods were blessing us a little bit. And Thad Young with a 14-point first quarter, really carrying the squad. But this guy hung on. He hung on well for this game. Like, he shot the ball relatively well. He was playing good defense. He went 2-3 zone and didn't just leave me wide open like everybody else. He actually was playing well. So we hit a couple of shots late down the stretch to kind of pull away in a 16-point win, but this was a close game. And now, game number 11. We're playing against the dude with Glen Rice and Akeem Olajuwon. And I just start laughing. Like, I was genuinely looking forward to this game. However, even though we did start off pretty well, it turns out that this was a stream sniper. But this was not a stream sniper who was stream sniping to try beat me. This was a stream sniper that was just going to go and give me the win and let me get the free card. Considering that I've won 23 games straight with these type of squads, it's safe. I think it was safe to say that I'd win most games with the squad, and also that realistically, I don't think his team was that well equipped to beat the team I put out. I think I would have beaten it comfortably. But yeah, so a bit of an anticlimax, but that is how we sold our soul to get another Glen Rice. So we have Glen Rice in 2 of our 3 accounts. Don't worry. I'm not going to do the same thing to get Glen Rice on my other account, but don't worry. I'll get Glen Rice on all my accounts by the end of this month. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.